President Donald Trump has announced April 2018 as National Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month. The Capitol will commit to raise awareness and stop UL violence during the month of April as a part of the proclamation signed Friday. Trump, who has a myriad of UL assault claims against him, signed the proclamation urging Americans to support survivors of UL assault and work together to prevent these crimes in their communities. The announcement follows the #MeToo movement that has swept through the country, rallying survivors to speak out against UL assault and violence. The movement that has taken down alleged predators like Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey and has also penetrated the White House. In February, Trump's former secretary Rob Porter resigned amid claims that he beat both of his ex-wives. The White House announcement said the month will be devoted to further raise awareness and end the epidemic of UL assault. During National Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month, we remain steadfast in our efforts to stop crimes of UL violence, provide care for victims, enforce the law, prosecute offenders, and raise awareness about the many forms of UL assault. We must continue our work to eliminate UL assault from our society and promote safe relationships, homes, and communities, the proclamation said. Sexual assault crimes remain tragically common in our society, and offenders too often evade accountability. These heinous crimes are committed indiscriminately, in intimate relationships, in public spaces, and in the workplace, the statement said. I urge all Americans, families, law enforcement, healthcare providers, community and faith-based organizations, and private organizations to support survivors of UL assault and work together to prevent these crimes in their communities, Trump said in the signed proclamation. The National Sexual Violence Resource Center had already declared April as the month dedicated to the cause in 2001. President Obama's administration moved to observe the cause in 2010, which has carried over into Trump's administration. The cause brings back to light the slew of UL assault allegations made against the president, who has repeatedly swatted away such claims as fake news. During his presidency-run People magazine reporter Natasha Stoyanov came forward saying she was assaulted by the president during an interview trip to his Mar-a-Lago estate where he pushed her against the wall and forced his tongue down her throat. Trump's reputation also went under fire during his presidential campaign when a 2005 Access Hollywood audio recording leaked where he says he can do anything to women. He says just start kissing them. I don't even wait and grab him by the pee in the audio tape. Following the release of the tape, Trump verified it as real and apologized for the comment, dismissing it as locker room talk. I said it, I was wrong and I apologize, Trump said at the time. Anyone who knows me knows these words don't reflect who I am. I said it, I was wrong and I apologize. Billy Bush, who was interviewing Trump in the tape, was fired from NBC as a result of the recording. Trump is accused of UL misconduct or assault with at least 15 women, according to CNN. 1980, Jessica Leeds, a 75-year-old former businesswoman who lives in Manhattan, told the New York Times last year that she was assaulted by Trump on a flight when she was 38. Leeds explained how she was sat beside Trump in first class on a flight, when the Republican nominee lifted the armrest between them and allegedly began touching her. He was like an octopus, she told the Times. His hands were everywhere. 1989, Ivana Trump, the Donald's first wife, claimed she was violated by him after a violent attack. Documents filed as part of the couple's divorce claimed, according to the Daily Beast. Ivana distanced herself from the claims last year when Trump started his campaign. Early 1990s, Kristen Anderson was out with friends, chatting up a storm at a Manhattan night spot, when she felt fingers creep up her miniskirt, slide up her inner thigh and then touch her vagina through her panties. Anderson, now 47, told the Washington Post that it was Donald Trump who touched her at the nightclub. She said the incident took place in the early 1990s, when she was in her early 20s and an aspiring model. 1993, Jill Harth, a makeup artist, accused Trump of attempted rape stemming from an incident in 1993. Harth told The Guardian the incident in question took place during a visit to Trump's Mar-a-Lago mansion in January of that year. He pushed me up against the wall, and had his hands all over me and tried to get up my dress again, she told the newspaper. I had to physically say, "What are you doing? Stop it." 1993, Vendela Kurseboom, former supermodel Vendela Kurseboom exclusively told DailyMail.com that Donald Trump's vulgar and ISD remarks about the size of women's breasts forced her to switch tables at a White House dinner party. The Sports Illustrated cover model claims her night at a 1993 Vanity Fair event was ruined because she was sat next to the billionaire. Recalling the excruciating night, Kurseboom, 50, said, "Everything he said was so vulgar. I couldn't listen to his nonsense for an entire night, so I asked if I could be moved." 1996, Lisa Boyne, CEO of a health food company, claims that in the summer of 1996 she saw Trump make a series of women walk up and down a restaurant table so that he could announce whether they were wearing underwear. "It was the most offensive scene I've ever been a part of," she told the Huffington Post last year. "I wanted to get the heck out of there." According to Boyne, she and friend Sonia Tremont, better known today as Sonia Morgan of Real Housewives of New York, had been invited to dinner in Manhattan with Trump and late modeling agent John Casablancas. 1997. Four Miss Teen USA contestants Mariah Bilodeau and three other contestants claimed to BuzzFeed that Trump walked into dressing rooms prior to the pageant while competitors were naked. "I remember putting on my dress really quick because I was like, oh my god, there's a man in here," she told BuzzFeed. Bilodeau told the website that Trump then said something like, "Don't worry, ladies, I've seen it all before." 1997. Miss USA contestant Temple Taggart, a former Miss Utah, told the New York Times last year that Trump kissed her on the lips during the pageant. "I thought, oh my god, gross. I think there were a few other girls that he kissed on the mouth. I was like, wow, that's inappropriate," she told the newspaper. Taggart has also sat down for an interview with NBC News. "When I first heard the leaked tape, it's very unsettling. You don't want to hear anyone talking about women like that," she said in a promotion clip for the interview. 1997. Kathy Heller, now 64, claims the billionaire kissed her on the mouth without her consent in 1997 while she attended a Mother's Day luncheon with her family at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach, Florida. She told The Guardian last year, "He took my hand, and grabbed me, and went for the lips," she said. She claims she held back but he persevered. "And he said, oh, come on. He was strong. He grabbed me and went for my mouth and went for my lips." Trump denied the accusation, claiming she was motivated by a personal vendetta to have her family's membership fees reimbursed. 2000, Miss USA contestant Bridget Sullivan told BuzzFeed last year that the then owner of the pageant walked through the backstage area to wish contestants good luck, despite the fact many of them were naked at the time. "The time that he walked through the dressing rooms was really shocking. We were all naked," Sullivan said. She went on to describe Trump as a creepy uncle, saying he would hug you just a little low on your back. BuzzFeed spoke with four other contestants from that year, none whom remembered Trump walking through the dressing room when contestants were naked. 2001, Miss USA contestant Tasha Dixon told CBS News last year walked into the changing rooms at the pageant without warning, meaning many of the competitors were naked or not fully dressed. "Our first introduction to him was when we were at the dress rehearsal and half-naked changing into our bikinis," Dixon said in an interview. "He just came strolling right in. There was no second to put a robe on or any sort of clothing or anything. Some girls were topless, other girls were naked." 2003, Mindy McGillivray, 36, told the Palm Beach Post that Trump grabbed her backside after she helped a photographer who was covering a concert at Trump's Mar-a-Lago mansion. McGillivray, who was 23 at the time, said she was with Ken Davidoff at the Mar-a-Lago on January 24, 2003. "All of a sudden I felt a grab, a little nudge. I think it's Ken's camera bag. That was my first instinct," she told the newspaper. "I turn around and there's Donald. He sort of looked away quickly." 2004, Trump discussed what he thought it would be like to have with a teenage Lindsay Lohan on the Howard Stern show. "She's probably deeply troubled and therefore great in bed," Trump told Stern when asked by the shock jock if he could imagine betting troubled teen Lindsay Lohan. Trump went on to say, "How come the deeply troubled women, deeply troubled, they're always the best in bed?" At the time of the interview, Lohan was just 18 years old. Trump was 58. The conversation continued with Trump speaking about a friend he described as a great playboy and who he said only wants to date crazy women. 2005, Rachel Crooks was a 22-year-old working as a receptionist at the Rock Group, a real estate company based in Trump Tower in Manhattan, when she says Trump kissed her on the mouth without permission while in an elevator in 2005. "It was so inappropriate," Ms. Crooks told the New York Times. "I was so upset that he thought I was so insignificant that he could do that." Crooks told the newspaper the incident took place after she shook hands with Trump in an elevator and he allegedly refused to let go. She says he then began kissing her on the cheeks, before then kissing her lips. 2005, Donald Trump admits he would inspect pageant contestants backstage. Donald Trump bragged about the extra power he had during an interview with Howard Stern in April 2005, the tapes of which have been released by CNN. "I'll tell you, the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show and everyone's getting dressed," Trump said about the pageant. "No man or anywhere, and I'm allowed to go in, because I'm the owner of the pageant and therefore I'm inspecting it. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? You see these incredible looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that." 2005, Trump brags about being able to grope women without consent to Billy Bush on the set of Access Hollywood. "You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait," he was heard saying to Billy Bush on the set of Access Hollywood in 2005 in a recording published by The Washington Post last year. "And when you're a star they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pee. You can do anything." 2005, Natasha Stoyanov recounted how she had traveled to Mar-a-Lago to interview Trump and his wife, Melania, in December 2005. She said Donald took her into a room he really wanted to see, before forcing himself on her. "We walked into that room alone, and Trump shut the door behind us. I turned around, and within seconds, he was pushing me against the wall, and forcing his tongue down my throat," she wrote for People. Stoyanov went on to say how she was rescued when a butler walked in, however, when the two were alone again shortly after Trump told her they were going to have an affair. 2006, Samantha Halvey claims that as a 20-year-old representing North Carolina in the 2006 Miss USA pageant, Trump would inspect her and other contestants before the competition. She has said she was disgusted by the now president's repeated behavior. "It was the dirtiest I felt in my entire life," she told CNN last year. "He would step in front of each girl and look you over from head to toe like we were just meat. We were just useful objects, that we were not people." 2007, Summer Zervos, contestant on The Apprentice. Summer Zervos, who was a contestant on the 5th season of The Apprentice, said Trump groped and kissed her in his room at the Beverly Hills Hotel in 2007. She claims that she reached out to Trump a year after she left the show to speak about possible business opportunities, and when she met with him he kissed her open-mouthed multiple times, and at one point placed his hand on her breast. She claims he then had her lie in bed with him, she said, telling her he wanted to watch telly, but soon after began thrusting his genitals at her despite her pleas asking him to stop. Zervos said during a press conference about her accusations, "You do not have the right to treat women as useful objects just because you are a star." 2009, called Khloe Kardashian a fat piglet. Trump made rude and offensive comments about Khloe Kardashian's physical appearance and weight while she filmed Celebrity Apprentice back in 2009, according to multiple people who worked on the set. He said, "Why don't we fire Khloe? She is a fat piglet. Why did we get the ugly Kardashian?" A source told Huffington Post. 2010, friend of CNN anchor Aaron Burnett. Aaron Burnett detailed an encounter that a friend had with Trump in March 2010 in the boardroom at Trump Tower, when he allegedly tried to kiss her without permission. The woman told Burnett, according to CNN, "Trump took Tic Tacs, suggested I take them also. He then leaned in, catching me off guard, and kissed me almost on lips. I was really freaked out." After the meeting, Trump asked me to come into his office alone. Was really unsure what to do. Figured I could handle myself. Anyway, once in his office he kept telling me how special I am and gave me his cell, asked me to call him. I ran the hell out of there. 2013, Miss USA contestant Cassandra Searles, who won Miss Washington in 2013, said Trump tried to seduce her, groped her, and treated the women in the pageant like cattle, according to Yahoo News. "Do y'all remember that one time we had to do our on-stage introductions, but this one guy treated us like cattle and made us do it again because we didn't look him in the eyes?" she wrote last year. "Do you also remember when he then proceeded to have us lined up so he could get a closer look at his property? Oh, I forgot to mention that guy will be in the running to become the next president of the United States." She then added, "He probably doesn't want me telling the story about that time he continually grabbed my A and invited me to his hotel room."
Where the freaks at?